massive excitement here in the air for this under-16 final. Western Province Invitational up against Just Planting Seeds. Joining me in commentary, Susie Appleby, fantastic to have you here.
Lovely to be here. Super excited to watch this one.
What an enjoyable under-13 final.
Oh my gosh, it was brilliant. The skills on display, Paul, are just unreal, and their tenacity, their desire, their willingness to play is just a joy, isn't it?
It certainly is. And Susie, again, we were fortunate enough to have a good chat on Saturday about it, but the level that these girls have been playing at Saturday and today has just been something to behold.
Yeah, it really has. And the most encouraging thing, I was chatting to a coach earlier, is the pathway that's coming through towards the Springboks, men and women. It's just fabulous. So, but to just see them coming out here and expressing, Paul, we and you know what a joy this sport brings, but to see these guys doing it in the sunshine at this wonderful venue is just awesome.
Yeah, and to add to that, Suze, I love that, but just the support as well.
Yeah.
To have their friends and families out here, as we see Planting Seeds making that first kickoff, the Western Province side move it off to the left, unable to really get momentum there. They're being held up. Good fight in the contact there from this talented Just Planting Seeds team, and they've won themselves a penalty. Suze, that Western Province team just a little bit static in that attacking move.
Yeah, they didn't really make a decision, and what awareness though to hold them up in a choke tackle, which means they're going to ultimately come out with the ball. It did end up in a penalty, but actually otherwise it would have been their put in. So as I said, well coached, understand the game, and now look what they're doing.
Absolutely fantastic break down the side by Lachen de Jong, and off she goes through the middle, really weaving, scything through this Western Province defense. Madinia Joseph for Just Planting Seeds, making big inroads into this Western Province defense. And as we discussed, the Western Province team just being caught a bit napping in this first minute or two.
Yeah, well, it starts from that indecision, Paul. As we know, first principle of rugby, go forward, because then the players in behind you can make a decision. And since she didn't, it became a bit of an easy target. But then you've got to capitalise on it. That was a brilliant one-woman finish, effectively, but really well taken to opening the score.
Certainly was, as we see Just Planting Seeds with a kickoff, allowing the Province team to gain some momentum in the middle, though. They forced that turnover, and away with the go Zara Simons, who's called back. Double knock on there, and we have another opportunity to have a look at Just Planting Seeds from an attacking middle scrum.
This is exciting, isn't it, Paul? Because the world's your oyster. When you've got a scrum in the middle of the field, you've got rid of 10 players who are in the scrum, then that is your best option and opportunity to explore space. And it's brilliant to see, what have they got up their sleeves? First receiver in behind. Where does the 9 go? How does the defence do it? What's that defensive 9 doing? So loads of fun stuff to come.
Oh, absolutely, Susan. Katie Benting getting that ball away. Unfortunately, Just Planting Seeds not able to hang on to that. But Suze, you are so right. I just love what the scrums have looked like.
Yeah.
Firstly, before even the attack and defense from it, just how much of a contest the scrums have been from under 13 all the way up to the seniors.
And that's what, commentators curse. I've just talked about the opportunities to come from the scrum, but actually your first job is to make sure you secure the ball, isn't it? On that occasion, and sadly, they couldn't. And then handing over key prize possession in an exciting part of the field. So now we'll see what these guys can do with it.
Yes, very true. And we've both seen this Western Province Invitational team show us their attacking prowess. They certainly are dangerous with ball in hand. And as you touched on, Suze, not really what Just Planting Seeds had in plan, handing the ball over to this Western Province Invitational team. As we look to set, we've discussed the contest at the scrum. Planting Seeds will look to put the Western Province team under huge pressure, and that's a free kick for this Western Province team who go quickly. And I love a sweeping move off to the left-hand side. They get the ball to the edge. And some good momentum down the left-hand side, but Ball a bit slow there, Suze. Would have liked quicker ball.
Yeah, it was a great hand. I think out to Lawrence, is it, on the edge?
Yes.
But, you know, just like I said, the defence managed to reorganise and slowed down the opposition. Now they're on advantage, which is what happens when a team is desperately trying to reform in defence.
Absolutely, and that's a barnstorming run by Mbambelo, and off she goes. Oh, so frustrating, these unforced errors.
Yeah, it's whether he's coming back for the penalty. Yeah, he is. So they knew they were on advantage, which is brilliant, isn't it, Paul? You can really roll the dice.
It is, absolutely. And Province, quick tap. Oh, she went the right way to begin with. Brought it back, though. Province still with ball in hand. They've unfortunately knocked that on. Really good defensive pressure from this Just Planting Seeds team.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the key bit of urgency there is, okay, they knew they're an advantage, so they know as soon as that advantage is not deemed to have been gained, they're going to go back and have to defend their line effectively, and they did that well, like you said, tap and play, and actually took the right option where there were fewest defenders, but actually then made it easy for Western Province to reset themselves, which they did, and got off the line. That's the key thing, isn't it, Paul? It's all very well being out in a line, but actually get off the line and go and get your opposite number, and that's what they did really well.
Suze, I absolutely love that. As you touched on earlier, this game of rugby, it's a simple game. Just everything you do, you need to do going forward.
Yeah.
So the defense getting off the line, shutting down the space, putting teams under pressure. And now as we see, Province will look to do that, will look to keep this talented Just Planting Seeds team in their half. Katie Benting with a put in, good scrum dominance there. And straight away they look to kick to the edge and straight into the hands of Western Province's 14. That was Lachan de Jong sending the ball out to the left. Western Province setting now in the middle. They've been intent on carrying hard and going forward. Again, they're stacked quite tight there, and they go route one, decide on the pick and go into the hands of Onaka Polis. Big, strong ball carrier. Now Planting Seeds with a turnover, and they send that ball into space, Susan. They seem to have found some space down the left-hand flank.
Oh, she is flying. She's backing herself, and that's exactly what you want to see, Paul, isn't it? End to end, coast to coast. And that's the brilliant thing about sevens, tens, any form of rugby. If you can see the try line at the other end and you're going to back yourself, you are going to get there. And that's what she did so valiantly.
So true, Susan. That's Nimat Lawrence with a clean pair of heels. She did so well. This is squaring up the defender and then going on the outside using that powerful handoff. There was no one who was going to stop her there, as we see Saskia Claessens converting.
But I think what we have to talk about, which we have done for about the last 2 or 3 minutes, is the resistance to allow people to come over your line. And then when you get the opportunity, you pounce. And that's the brilliant thing about rugby, isn't it? If you take these opportunities, then it becomes a simple game. So, you know, important score after 7 minutes, and it brings it virtually even.
Very true, Suze. And just seeing Just Planting Seeds' ability to adapt. They kicked, didn't quite work for them, held on to the ball, decided they were going to run it out, and just shows how effective they are with ball in hand. As we have a look at the Province side, who've gained possession again. Good defense from this Planting Seeds team. Very abrasive at the breakdowns, countering everything, and again, they get off the line, referee judging them to be offside. Be interesting to see what the Province team does now. Suze, we touched on it earlier. The Province team just not looking as decisive as this Planting Seeds team have looked with ball in hand.
Yeah, well, they're going to make a decision now, and the decision is to go forward, which is fabulous, isn't it? That's going to set a point of attack, and from there, is it run, is it pass, is there a kick in space in behind because the defence might have come flat? But we'll see them keeping ball in hand, and what's what we love to see, isn't it, Paul? These young players, they want to play, they want to show their skills, and it's admirable. Just hopefully the awareness to just stay in field.
Yep. And you called it, Suze. Good passage of play there from Western Province, and as you said, when they go forward, looks so effective. When they go backwards and sideways, they really get themselves into trouble. And now as we have a look at this Planting Seeds team we just spoke about going forward, and that's Katie Benting. We've chatted about her. She's had a few opportunities at scrum time. She's their sweeper, and we've now got an opportunity to see her in full flow and see how dangerous she is on the attack.
You've mentioned her several times already, which means she's in the middle of the play, which she is. She's connecting the attack and the defence. She's marshalling her troops, and it's so critical that you have that player in the middle, not just one hopefully, but one of a few that can really direct the way. But you can see as an individual, she just jumps on an opportunity. Again, I'm going to back myself. I've got footwork, I've got pace, and actually I think I'm faster than you. And that's all you need, isn't it, in the game of rugby? Following that, it's just support and get another effort in.
Love it, Suze, absolutely. And just being brave, as you said, using your talents, using your skill set. And again, as we have a look at Planting Seeds kicking off, they're all over this Western Province Invitational team, driving them back into their own half again, but slow off the line on this occasion, letting this Western Province team run at them. And that's a fantastic offload into space by this Western Province team. We have a look at them breaking down the right-hand touchline. Quick balls needed here. Don't allow the Planting Seeds team to organise. Province move the ball into the middle of the field. That's Anako Apollos again. She's carried well in this first half. Good. Picking up. They're moving the ball off to the left-hand side. As we said, Suze, we just want to see this Province team go forward, and that's gone into the hands there of De Jong. What a fantastic finish. And you've said it countless times, Suze. As soon as this Province team shows a bit of decisiveness and a bit of willingness to go forward, they're so effective.
Yeah, I was willing them, I could see the final defender inside the posts, which means there has to be an overlap somewhere, but then it's having the vision for yourself, but also the communication from outside. Give me the ball, move the ball to space. Then a lazy defender came back in, but it was there, wasn't it? It was maybe a phase too late, but it's never a phase too late if you're going to finish like that lady does.
Absolutely fantastic way for the Western Province Invitational team to finish that first half. A half largely dominated by just Planting Seeds, and all to play for in the second half.
Listen, don't act on it. Don't forget it. Was it the same? You don't do that. Die span wat die langste in die 5 minute. So moenie nou opsien nie, moenie koppe sakkie. Hulle nou 10 wen, so wie? Be disciplined. Watch the offside line. Ons het 3 penalties as hy afgegaan. Okay. So Cassie, listen, girls. For 10 minutes. For 10 minutes. You need to prove why we worked the last 4 months. Okay? 10 minutes, Jamie, maak die 10 weer. Na die gaan ons huis toe. En ons gaan huis toe gaan as weer. Okay, go. Let's go. Stop it! Ow! My bad.
Welcoming you all back to the scintillating Under-16 Girls final. Just Planting Seeds in control at the halfway point, leading this Western Province Invitational team by 19 points to 5. And Suze, what do you think Western Province are looking to do in the second half, just to try and eke their way back into this one?
Well, first things first, get hold of the ball and maintain possession. I know it sounds straightforward, but that's the key, isn't it? You need to starve the opposition of ball and make progress, build pressure. That's what, as we know, that's how, and then be able to convert it. So whether that be by passing and moving, and which route you take, is it direct? and then you look to explore space, or you could look to go over the top. So lots of options, and that's the key thing. 2 minutes at half time, what were the messages that were delivered?
Yeah, very interesting. And as we discussed that, Western Province have got themselves an attacking opportunity here, deep inside just planting seeds 22. Good scrum there. Unfortunately, that pass hasn't gone to hand, but it's gone backwards. Penalty advantage. Province looking to take it quickly. They move it off to the left to the talented Tutu. Gets the ball away. Planting seeds. Put them under all kinds of pressure, all sorts of pressure.
Yeah,
Province.
that lady Tutu's just in the middle of everything, isn't she? They've sensed the urgency, Paul. We've talked about it. What's the message? Well, do what you've been doing, be patient, but be urgent. I would imagine is that you want to get some points on the board, and now they need to convert from here.
Love it. And there's real, as you said, Suze, Western Province team, there's been some real intent. They've come out with real intent in the second half, and often that's half the battle won. Just that energy, that effort, that intent. Everyone on this field has skill, and sometimes those are the things that make the difference.
Yeah. The 1%ers, the cliche, but it's so true, isn't it? And that's a bit of a coach killer, isn't it? Where you've built the momentum, you've built pressure, and you just get held up over the line, as we see often so. But there's a moment here that you have to seize an opportunity, and then now with the new rules, you now get another moment where they've given you the ball back. Now they need to take this opportunity.
Absolutely love that, Suze. As you say, just planting seeds, having to kick that goal line, drop out, now into the hands of the try scorer who's gotten that ball away. Unfortunately, that pass has gone past, but Mbambelo picks it up and off she goes. Barnstorming run down the right-hand side, and Mbambelo. What pace, what power. How impressive was that, Suze?
I love that, because the ball was bouncing. A bouncing ball, as we know, can create chaos, can't it? Now, but she had the composure. She turned her back on the opposition. She fields it, and then she has the presence of mind, make sure it's in the correct hands so she can fend and protect herself the best that she can. It was not an easy finish. It was 1v2, and she made it count, and she claws her side back into this game. Fabulous bit of work.
Very true, Suze. And again, we need to commend the coaches of both teams. Two of us are sitting here talking about how good the basics are, how good the fundamentals are, and how good these teams, individuals in the teams have been at executing those. Really been a joy to watch as Megan Abrams kicks off for the Western Province team. How this just planting seeds team will look to get their attacking rhythm going. Fortunate to have kept that ball at that breakdown. Western Province were all over it. Jacklers all over the place there, into the hands there of number 5 Philander, who moves it off to the talented Joseph, who just puts a foot in touch. Western Province will be breathing a deep sigh of relief. Joseph, very dangerous in space. And we have a look at our first liners of the game.
Yeah,
Suze.
wow. We don't get many of them. And, it's, again, back to a bit dull, but train the game. How much time do you spend on them? Because when you do get them, you have to be able to execute. It's an opportunity. You can drop a forward into the backs line, potentially, set a point of contact in the middle of the field, or look at a different option. But it's important that your line out, if we get this executed, your line out players stand up and they reload to present two sides of attack wherever their point of contact goes.
I love that, Suze. And what do we say there? The simplest way to do it is just get the ball back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think that ball has gone in skew. And interestingly, just planting seeds have opted for a line out.
Yeah.
So they obviously have a plan, and it seems as though they're going with a 5-girl line out, looking to set up a drive. Very South African. Not surprised at all.
Remember the 7-man line out? Nobody ever forgets it.
No. I do, you'll actually laugh. It's 2011 in Hong Kong in the quarterfinal against Fiji. We did a 7-man line out, and we actually drove off the line and scored a try. The Fijians were very upset.
I bet they were a little perplexed.
Very
weren't they?
perplexed. The referee wasn't sure what was going on, wasn't sure if it was illegal or not.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, this composure bit is really important now, isn't it? It's a 2-score game effectively. Western Province need to get the ball, but they can't be desperate about getting it. They need to stay in control in this, back in control of this attacking play and do what they've, classic again, change possession.
That's it. And as we've said, that is Katie Benting using her dazzling footwork. But Suze, as you've said, both teams just struggling to keep their first phase ball. And we look at, that is horrific. I really hope the two of them are okay. Just a little bit of a lack of control.
Yeah, nothing intentional, nothing malicious, but yeah, there's a bit of a collision there.
At least we can see some movement from both of these young women on the field. As you said, Suze, no malice in it whatsoever, just unfortunate. And again, as you're saying, these are things when, these young women often not getting to play enough, difficult to find that contact zone, to know when to chop your feet, when you are thinking you're doing what the coach wants, you're getting off the line, you're closing the space. And sometimes, things like this happen.
Yeah, it's sometimes that step back inside or that change of movement and direction, it just throws you and you think you're doing everything just right and actually just catches you off guard. So, yeah, let's hope they get back on their feet. But the defence is as important as the attack, isn't it, Paul? How ferocious can you be, but how can you do it with control to make sure that you keep your complement of numbers on the field and ensure you give yourselves every opportunity? The good thing about this is they'll be able to, they've got substitutes. It'll be a chance for someone else to be able to come on, play that part in the final, and it could be a really significant part. And hopefully those players can come back on or whatever's appropriate, but they'll be looked after with the best medical care here at this tournament, and that's what's been really impressive all across the pitches. We've seen medics and strength and conditioning coaches, coaches, as well as all these wonderful players and all the support that's come out. But that is the bigger picture of the game, Paul. It's not just the players that are running around getting to do what they do. It's all a bit of wraparound care that's just so important.
Absolutely, Susan, and I'm so glad you touched on it. We always look at this beautiful game of ours holistically, and there's so many moving parts, and each of them play such an integral role in having days like this really be a success. As we see, just planting seeds, putting that little kick in behind and pressurizing the Western Province team, and they've regained possession. Also, the kick today with the wind picking up and a bit of drizzle throughout the day, I feel that the teams have used the kick as a real attacking option to try and win that ball back.
Well, that was really astute, wasn't it? There's only one defender in the backfield, and it's an awful lot of ground to cover. So if you communicate well and you nudge it over the top onto grass, that's the important thing, isn't it? And make the one lonely sweeper move around, then you could present an opportunity, which is exactly what's happened.
As we see that really competitive scrum once again, and Western Province have won that battle. They've certainly gained the ascendancy at the set piece, the scrum and the line-outs. Unfortunately, is the ref going to give her...
No.
That's fantastic. He's going to give her another opportunity to play. That's also a really important part of the game. And again, the match officials have been brilliant. It's the way they've managed these games. Just planting seeds, off they go. And that again is the talented 14, Madinia Joseph. Unfortunately, that's the second time now. I hope she learns some good lessons in this one. She's quick, she's got great feet, but we know the two best defenders on the field are the two touchlines.
Yeah, and that's, again, going to be a little sense of frustration. She's probably drifting across field, and we see that all the time, don't we, Paul? You're looking for someone to pick a line, to straighten up off you, or to straighten up yourself. But on that occasion, just probably the worst outcome, where she just effectively gives the ball to the opposition.
And fantastic rehearsed move there, little front peel. That was fantastic. Everybody doing their job, and planting seeds now have the ball into the hands there of their playmaker, Benting, who sends it out to the left. Unfortunately, that ball's gone forward. Western Province now with an opportunity to attack from a transition deep in their 22, but the referee slows things down and calls it now. Western Province running out of time here, Suze. 2 minutes left. They're 2 scores behind. They're really going to have to get a crack on now. they want to get back into this one.
Yeah, they need to strike now, really. But again, it doesn't take panic. It potentially takes multi-phase play to take them to the other end of the field, and they know they're capable of it, and that's what they need to reach inside now, remember what they're capable of, and just make a plan. This is where your game leaders really come into their own. You know, it's your 9s, it's your 10s, it's, you know, the person at the base of the scrum, where they're all on the same page. And I know it's a lot to ask of young players, especially invitational players, but these will be the moments that define, you know, the win or lose situation.
And as you're saying that, Megan Abrams there, who's now in position, barking orders at her troops. And that's some good play. As we said, if Province can just get a bit of momentum, they're on the front foot now, moving the ball to the right-hand side, and that's a fantastic run down the right-hand side, looking to keep that ball in hand. That's Lebalele, the captain, who's now taken the ball into contact. Province now move the ball, just one pass, and forward they go into the hands of Tonga, who's carried incredibly well throughout this game, giving this Province team momentum. Ball a little bit slow, and allowing the Tigers to, or the Planting Seeds, to almost intercept that ball. Now Province on the attack. They get that offload away into the hands of Luana Ferreira. Good ball placement, and that's the replacement. Christabel Negrini came on with real energy about a minute ago. Province now carrying hard, sending that ball into the space. That is a fantastic finish. And that's Mbambelo, whose name we've mentioned a few times. She's been in the action throughout the match.
Yeah, but as soon as Tutu gets her hands on the ball, you know there's danger. She's got footwork, she knows where the space is, she knows how to get the ball there effectively, and there was no way she was going to miss that 3v1 overlap. And she got it nailed. Now it's saying that time's up on our clock. You know, are we evens with the ref? But what a score to finish with, and thoroughly deserved.
Very true. And again, just the strength versus strength. These final days, these final games. Such a pleasure watching this. And there goes the final whistle. What a fantastic win for this Just Planting Seeds team. We've seen the under-13s do well. The under-16s now taking the cup, and just a huge congratulations to everyone involved.
I think you just mentioned it. What's impressed me is I'm hearing across the age groups they're strong, and they're, you know, the skill sets are going from 13s to 16s, you know, and all the way through, and that's super impressive, and that makes for a really good setup. Good coaching, we've already touched on it, looking after players in every aspect of rugby, because it's not just on